A little bit. All right. So, going to be trying to paint this Thundering Behemoth here from Reaper, and I've got a whole bunch of Vallejo game inks, which I'm excited to give a shot here. So, without much further ado, let's start figuring this stuff out. So, taking some medication so I'm not too sniffly or dripping from my nose. So, not that anyone needed to know that, but hopefully that makes the stream go a little bit smoother. Let's see here. So just eliminate the brushes I'm not going to need today. Probably not going to need that one there. Alright, so looking at this reference I'm using here, I feel like I should consider starting with the eyes here. I'm using the Shifting Ceratops art from Magic the Gathering as a reference here. I thought that's not only is it relatively similar to our dinosaur here, but it's just a very cool art in general. Let's start off with just doing a bit of the body there. It looks like his belly is supposed to be a reddish hue, so I'll just start off with the legs. I'll start off with the green bits. No, I don't have paper towel. I'll be right back. Oh, no, it's right here. There we go. So, that's quite a dark green. But, for the darkest parts, I think that's perfect. Let's see here. Yeah, that should be good. Just for the darkest bits. But you know what? I'm working with inks. It's easier actually to go with the brighter green first and then darken the rest after. I need to keep in mind I am using inks. It's a bit of a new experiment for me. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this little journey goes. Always got to try new things. I've only used inks once earlier last week, and actually, or not last week, earlier this week. I did an alligator. So, with that alligator, so I was able to achieve something like this using game inks. And I really like how the vibrancy turned out. So we're going to just leave him there. And, man, that exposure is... The sun is out to make this real bright. Mind you, this will get brighter or easier to see and less white as soon as I start laying on the color. So we're just going to start off. And it's okay that it's really bright because with inks we can just layer over top of it to increase the intensity. It's a different beast than using just acrylic paint. So I have to keep that in mind as I'm going along through with it. Can you make it cotton candy pink? I will not make it cotton candy pink, Bard of Doom. If you want to get me a mini to make cotton candy pink, I will do it. I do have a red, but I don't have a white to make it make the pink ink. Well, actually, no. I have a ink-like product that is pink. So, if you find me a mini to paint pink, I will do that. And thank you for joining the stream. Aw, you're too cute. Don't be sad. You'll have. Hey, I did the beholder the way that you wanted it to be done. I used those blue color shifting metallics. So, you know, I'm not saying no. Just one day. I'll have to get you on the stream one day, part of Doom. I'll get you on here. Let's see. Okay. Okay to you'll join the stream one day as Invisible Hands, or okay as in you'll get me a mini to paint pink. Never, never. Okay, I didn't think so, but hey, I can try. I can try to convince you. Pink mini. All right. Is it just going to be another beholder? I feel like you're just going to get another beholder. Let's see here. Oh, welcome to the stream, Tiger. Nice to see you again. Nah, I will figure out something. Have fun. Back to reading. All right, thank you for joining. It's Chris Stewart. Hello, Mikey. How are you doing today? How is work? Oh, it's Christ Stewart. Yes, my child. It is Christ Stewart. Aw, yeah, Dino. Yeah, I got some game inks in, so it's looking real neon pastel right now, but I used these inks to do this alligator just a couple days ago, so this was my trial run with them. I'm going to try and get it to look kind of like the what we see on the screen there. So I'm going to go with a bigger brush now. Just get more of that coverage. Getting up to anything fun today there, Mikey? Oh, Falconyan! It's the featherless kind. Yeah, it's a very Jurassic World kind of Tyrannosaurus. Nice to see you again there, Falconyan. So I'm just using this card art from Magic the Gathering to see if I can achieve something like that on this miniature. Um, this same ink I did to do this alligator. So it looks bright and pastel-y as if it was done with a pencil crayon right now, but it should get more rich and vibrant as I go. Just gotta do layers and layers of it, and it'll get more and more intense. How are you doing today, though, Falconyan? My apologies if you guys hear my sniffles. Just fighting a little bit of a cold. Nothing too serious. Not. It shouldn't be COVID. So, but nonetheless, masking up as always, taking all the precautions. I had thought it was allergies, but started to develop a small cough. So. But one of my buddies got a bit of a sinus cold, so I think I have the same thing that he does. Alright, so just going over some more of the layers here. Richen this up a little bit. It looks like he's got a little bit of an injury there. So I might have to redo that just in a white and kind of show that injury. Oh man, that looks way more pastel-y on the camera. That's okay. I would like the professional opinion of some nerds, meant in the most loving way possible. Should my jackalope have a hair tail or a pheasant one? Hmm. I like jackalopes. Let's see here. I don't think I've seen one with a pheasant tail before, so I like the idea of that being an option. Hmm. I think that's a very interesting thing to explore. I support a pheasant tail. I'm used to the hair tail, but I think that would be cool. Come on. There we go. Turn that back on. Alright, so it was said that some were depicted with that, so that's why I was thinking. It seems more interesting. I agree. It's a bit more Chimera-esque if you do it like that. I think that's got some cool prospects to it. Alright, so is this dry? Yeah, it's a bit dry. So we're going to just go in with some yellow with a hint of... Yeah, I could do sepia, but I think I'll do a brown. Let's see here. So, as we do that, mix that up. Oh, that's a nice color. That's perfect. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start giving him some stripes, some striperoonies. So as we do that, I'll make that a bit wider and it comes down like that. Oh. So do a little bit of that there. And now do a little bit of the outline for that green head there. This is still a bit too... I think what I'll do is I'm not a big fan of it being too white there. How's that look? That's super dark. What I'll do is I'll dilute it with some bright green. It's still far too... Alright. That's a bit better. When I was a kid and I would draw dinosaurs, I always drew them green. All dinosaurs were green in my imagination. So it's kind of fun getting to paint a dinosaur green. I will say it does a little bit of a nostalgia trip for me. To do, but that's okay. So do that there. It's got a little bit that goes over and up. So I got that. I'm gonna go down like that. brush to pull that down. Littlefoot and his friends were not all green. No, yeah, but they seem to have some green tones to them. But the ones from the Dino babies were very multicolored. Even shows me. Yes, I don't know where I got the idea that like most dinosaurs were green. It may have been from a book that I had when I was a kid. Yeah, no, it's I couldn't tell you where I built that assumption as a kid. Mind you, I just really liked the color green too, so that probably has a lot to do with it. Green was my favorite color. Oh, I see that I lifted up some of the ink with my fingers, so I'm gonna have to fix that in a bit. Yeah. Green seems to be very correct. Yeah, no, but it's funny because we look at like lizards and stuff. Some of them are green, but most of them aren't. Most of them are browns, and some of them are black. You look like the Gila monster. So it was interesting. I don't think there's anything wrong with the green dinosaur. I just I thought it was peculiar that I built that very strong sense that this is the color that dinosaurs are, or that that became the popular thing. But I think it's like everything. If it's depicted a certain way when people are first like conceptualizing things, the next people that are shown that and stuff, they're going to do similarly. So yeah, no, I one of the things I really like is that this model has a very beak like you know mandibles. All right, so in terms of pinks, let's see if we can make this guy have a little bit of pink on him. So I like the idea of this having a little bit of pink. It's kind of exciting. So in the picture, he's got a little bit of a pink neck and crest. That it's a little intense, but you know what? We're gonna go with it. We can dry brush highlights on top of it afterwards, so not too worried. Oh man, the camera looks like blood. I assure you, this is a pink tone. And we're just going to pull that down to the belly. Yeah, I saw about that. They terminated the fetus, but they were able to get it to grow teeth, which was really cool. I was quite interested in that. It was a very popular article. probably go maybe about as far as that, because it won't go all to the very end. It's a little cartoonish if I do that. It's not really how you see colors on reptiles. They usually only go part of the way. Yeah, we'll find out if I hate this later. Right now we're just experimenting and having some fun, so it's all good. Alright, so do that. I do feel like I probably need to keep it enriching the dark green here. So going to do exactly that. And so one thing that you find a lot of the time in animals is that despite how the top parts of their skin get the most sunlight, which you would assume would make it the brightest part, a lot of animals have darker colored backs and lighter colored bellies. So that's kind of why you see me really trying to make the bottom or the top parts here a lot darker. Um, some time ago, I also saw drawings of how swans would look if their skeletons got the same treatment as dinosaurs. I love science. I love concept art like that. That stuff is all so cool to me. So I think I might have to open a window because I cannot breathe through my nose at all. Might have to do with how my head is tilted too, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep going. I can be a mouth breather for a bit. I don't mind that. Oh, I don't know what's going on there. That all pulled at the bottom there. Let's get you back up there. And we're gonna keep intensifying those yellows. Keep intensifying them. So we want those to stay, because a lot of animals will have those kind of stripes, similarly to a tiger, in order to protect themselves, essentially. And having just 3 doesn't quite feel like it's enough, so I'm going to tap that, make sure that that's nice and dry. We're going to add in a 4th one there. Tie it up a bit more. I see that I've got a little bit of a white spot there. I'm just gonna just keep having fun. Whenever I blow my nose, I'm going to try and mute this mic. That's very logical. Both sides need to look their best for camouflage, and also the top might not, or might have a darker skin due to more melanin, as well as especially for animals where they have airborne predators. They want to actually make sure that they blend in more with their environment, right? Um, so sharks are darker on the top, so that when you're looking down into the depths of the ocean, it's harder to identify them. Likewise, their bellies are white, so that they are harder to notice from below. Now, mind you, that's with sea creatures, obviously, not dinosaurs, but um, I presume the intention for having a darker top is both, as you said, melanin exposure, um, especially to what is it? Not not u not ultraviolet, but to UV radiation. Um, the burbs and stuff also want lighter bellies. Yeah, exactly, exactly. And what is a dinosaur if not a giant bird? All right. This looks weird, but I love it. I did biological laboratory studies. I love this stuff. Oh, that's so cool. I am just a fond admirer of animal studies, so zoology and the like. I have no formal education in it. I'm very passionate about it. It's very cool stuff. Um, Especially when it comes down to using real world inspiration for like designing monsters and stuff for tabletop role playing games. I did a stat block for a trapdoor spider, like a giant trapdoor spider, as well as a black armored tarantula. Just trying to take their traits and be like, cool, how would this look like in a monster stat block, right? This is the most colorful, playful looking dinosaur in the world. I love it. Oh god, the pink. So funny. So funny. Well, we'll see if I can get it to look half as cool as the concept art that I'm using as a reference. It's a bit more of a orangey red. I'll probably do a lot of dry brushing to get some of that to look quite right. But for now, it is a fabulous, fabulous dino. And that's okay. The jackalope is based off of rabbits with tumors. Yeah, they have bone protrusion or cancerous bone tumors that end up protruding and growing and crazy. Unicorns exist because people were sure that every sea creature had to have a land-based counterpart, and the narwhals exist. Oh, that's really cool. I never would have thought of that. I like that. That's interesting. What culture does that originate from? The land-based and water-based having counterparts. I wonder, since it's mostly skin, would dead skin calluses be built up in the places where dead skin can't get away on the dinosaurs? Since it's mostly skin, would dead skin slash calluses also build up places where dead skin can't get away? Interesting. So do you mean like on the sides or on the back? Oh, in terms of like the skin color getting darker? It didn't look too natural with how I did that. Whoops. Oh well. How did I do that? I did that there. Then I wrapped around. Yeah, that's what I meant. That the skin would get darker and armpits and stuff. Oh, I see, I see, I see. Huh. I don't know. I would probably ask you that question. um, like, so you mean like in areas there where there would be a lot more friction, right? Speaking of which, I have empty. I don't remember where I read the thing about sea creatures, but I'm quite sure it's a European thing. With random lore that might not be true. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I know that feeling very well. Oh, no. I mucked that up. Mucked it up. Alright, let's enrich this part. We'll enrich this part. Here. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go like that. Lurking. Hey, it's all good, Mikey. No worries. No need to apologize. I appreciate you lurking. Lurking is welcome. Starting to like how the face is turning out. This is one silly looking dinosaur. I am okay with that. Alright. That's alright. Should I get some darker colors in here? I feel like this Triceratops raves. Definitely feel like this is a Triceratops you would see at a rave. dinosaurs through parties. If you haven't, maybe some Vapor Rub? Yeah. Yeah, maybe. You know what? Actually, I've got some thing that might help me. You know what? It's a great suggestion. I'll be right back. Look at you there, Falcon Yan. Making all the good ideas. Thank you there for the suggestion. Yeah, no, it's. I think the most annoying part about it is that when I stand up, my sinuses clear up. The moment I sit down, I guess there's just a change in my head tilt, and it feels like what's happening is either blood is going into um, the blood vessels and it's filling in, like making the sinuses swell up, or I'm having mucus that's pooling up in there. Yeah, it's a joy, but yeah, no, I'm trying as hard as I can here to not sniffle too much. But the vapor rub was a fantastic suggestion. I should have thought of that earlier. Usually, what I use is mint oil, but I forgot that we actually even have Vicks on hand. Oh, that makes a world of a difference. Breathing is good. It's easy to forget things. I do it myself. Yeah, no, it's. Man, adulting is hard. Adulting is hard. Somehow it's always easier to remind others than remember for ourselves. You know, I don't know what's going on with it. I do have a really bad dust allergy, which makes it just impossible to accomplish anything. Um, and there's construction that's going on right behind us that kicks up a lot of dust. So I've noticed that when we have our windows open, um, that that happens. But right now, I've been taking some antihistamines, and it's still happening, which suggests to me that maybe I have a sinus cold. I don't know. It's trying to make the best of what I can. That's really all I can do right now. Oh, it's bedtime for you. Well, thank you so much for joining in, Falcon Yan. It's always a pleasure to have you join in. You have yourself a wonderful night, okay? And yes, you were of help. Thank you as always. You have yourself a good night, okay? Take care. I will have fun. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Ah, all right, let's see here. For the beak, let's go with. Here we go. Bit of dark stone, and I think what I'll do is I'll add a little bit of. But yeah, I've got a black ink. How would the black ink turn out? Yeah, let's try a black ink. Let's have some fun with it. Oh, it's very matte. No, you know what? I'll stick with the paint. That is not the color I was looking for. That's okay. Yeah, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking more for something along this line with black. Ah, there's my matte black. Although, actually, because it's glossy, a glossy black would do much better. BG on background. Okay. Thank you, Tiger. I just saw your message there. Let's see. here. Let's see here. I guess I don't really have any idea what the bottom toes look like, but I could use the same color as the beak, and it probably would look right. Just reuse what I got on the palette. Oh, hey, Spikina. Hey, no worries. It's all good if you lurk. Hey, Lemons. No worries. Hey, guys. Nice to see ya. Nice to see ya. So right now, I'm just trying to paint this Triceratops using some inks. It's not going quite as well as my alligator did, but you know what? That's okay. We're still in progress here. I'm using concept... well, it's not concept art. I'm using art from Magic the Gathering as a reference and idea. I'm hoping it'll turn out well, but you know what? This is largely a learning experience right now. It's going quite nicely. And I'm experimenting with vibrant colors. I don't usually do that, so my assumption is I'm probably going to have to go with a darker shade of green, and I will then do some dry brushing to, uh, make some scale differentiation. Still a new type of paint? Yeah, no, exactly. No, it's a new type of paint. And I think it also makes it just a little trickier when you're painting a creature that doesn't really exist, and the only references, are a bit different. And again, I make no claim to being an expert, um, and I'm trying something I don't normally do, and it's a learning experience. It's good. So no matter how this looks at the end of it, I'm going to be happy because I learned something. Mikey, still sitting down. Yeah, it's right now I've done the beak, which is tying it up a bit more together. It's gonna make this look a little less cartoonish with how bright the colors are. And I'm just going over to the toes. What's new, pussycat? Nothing is new. Nothing is new. I put on some Vicks Vapor Rub to try and open up my nostrils, but it's just when I sit down, it plugs up. As soon as I stand up, I can breathe perfectly fine through my nose. So I think it's just mucus that's sliding around, plugging me up. Just the gross bits. Just the gross bits. Yeah, just giving, what is it, a pedicure? Manicure? I don't know which one's which. Doing the toes. Just painting the toenails. My fruity friend. Oh yeah, I got the sour audience right now. Lemons and limes. What am I? Grapefruit? Orange? A persimmon? What do you call? What's that really big one? The really, really big one. Can't remember what it's called. Not a grapefruit. Lemon and lime. Together we are Sprite. I like that. I like that a lot. I think my face is leaking. But I can't tell. What are those really big citruses? I can't remember what they're called. Pomelo, that's it. It's a pomelo. Had a roommate who used to always buy just sacks of pomelos. My daughter just went down for a nap, so hopefully you can sneak one as well. Sprite. Too funny, too funny. What's up, pussycat? Whoa, 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 whoa. Or that, what's new, pussycat? I can't remember. I've never heard that. They're not common around here. Pomelos? Or the song, What's New, Pussycat? Because pomelos are definitely an imported fruit. Parmelo, pomelo. You usually find them in your Asian supermarkets. So like over here in Vancouver, that would be like TNT or H Mart. Pomelo, yeah. I'm not a big fan of them. I find them to be super bitter, but some people just absolutely love them, which is fantastic. That means it's more pomelos for them. I find the skin of the not the peel, but the skin of the meat, so to speak, to be very bitter. So I usually don't eat them unless I'm gonna like peel the outer skin of the cells off. And my apologies if anyone hears me sniffling a whole bunch. Um, I've got something. I think I got a sinus cold. It's not COVID. Not COVID. I don't have the COVID. But very careful. I mask up all the time when I go out. Just carry hand sanitizer on me. Blood oranges? Yeah, I mean, maybe if blood oranges were like this big. They're huge. They're really huge. Uh, you could knock a person out with them. They taste nothing like blood oranges, though. It's a very. If I had to make a similarity, they're more like grapefruit than any other citrus. It's that time of year, to be honest. Yeah, no, I'm. I was mentioning earlier. I thought it was allergies. Just given that I do have like a bad dust allergy, and there's a construction site that's across the street from my house. Um, so they kick up a lot of fine dust, which just is brutal on me. Um, but given last night that I was coughing too, I think it's a sinus cold. So, just lots of NyQuil, Dayquil, the works. Like, operationally, I feel fine. My nose is plugged up, especially when I'm sitting down. If I stand up, I can breathe fine. It's mostly just when I'm sitting down. Which is rough, but whatever. That's how she goes. Heck, you guys can probably hear the construction, actually. Alright, so the more colors I add into this, the more I'm loving it. Here, speaking of which, I'm going to just step off camera and blow my nose here. See if... Mute, darn you. There we go. A little bit better. Alright, where's my bone colors? Here we go. I enjoy breathing. Allergies suck. I find breathing is a great thing. I think that 9 out of 10 people enjoy breathing. That's what I think. Heck, maybe 90 people out of 100 people. That's the same way as saying a different number. They do, yeah, no, it's... And I think dust allergy is one of the worst ones, too, because if you think about it, like, if you have an allergy to cats, don't have a cat, go to your friends with your antihistamines, take those precautions. But dust, man, dust is everywhere. Dust is so difficult to avoid. how am I going to avoid dust? Dust is everywhere. Also got a flu shot, so I don't know if I'm experiencing just some minor reaction of my antibodies freaking out over it. Obviously not sick, it's just you don't actually get sick from a flu shot. Just in case anyone's concerned about that. But your antibodies can react to them thinking that you are under attack, and they can start freaking out. So that can happen. 100% of people who breathe have died or are currently dying. Just saying. That's true. It's like, what is it? Mono hot. What is it? No, it's bi dihydrogen oxide. Is that how it goes? I haven't taken chemistry in forever. Basically, water. Water kills millions of people. Millions. Pool drownings. All that stuff. Ocean. Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Yep. Gonna start getting redonkulous here. I feel like we would have to test that, Mike DeLime. I want your sources. Is yeah, dihydrogen monoxide. Thank you. It's been years since I've been in chemistry, but yeah, I liked that the thing that talked about how many people die from dihydrogen monoxide. That it's toxic at certain levels. And people are like, yeah, petition to get rid of it. We don't. And it's like it's in all of your food. All of your food has it. And people just not realizing that they're describing water by its chemical name. Alright, we'll travel go to there and I will count. I like that. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, here, one sec. I'm gonna... allergies, cough, cold, whatever it is. I just want to breathe normal again. Just want to breathe normal. I just want to live. But Lemons, how's your day going so far today? Get funding from physics organizations. Time dilation is a thing. Yeah, testing it. Go all around the world with an analog clock. One of better stay back on this continent. Just want to make sure that 60 seconds will be the same. Whoa, Mia Mercury, how are you doing? Welcome to my stream. I'm so happy to see you here. I'm just doing some miniature painting. I am doing a very, very colorful Triceratops. I got some inks and I wanted to experiment. This is what I first did with it, using these game inks here. Pardon my sniffles. I've got a little bit of a sinus cold here. But nice to see you. on a different continent, so I will volunteer to travel. That's right. Spiky Keen, are you in New Zealand, or are you in Europe? Wait, I think you said you were in Europe. Nice. Hi, Spiky Kina. Hey, Mia Mercury. Hello, Dyslexic Lemons. Got a friendly chat here. I love friendly chats. Nothing better than a friendly chat room. Especially when we're having struggles to see each other in person. One could say that your chat rooms are friendly, Mikey, but they're friendly in a different way. Yeah, New Zealand. Yeah, Kiwi. I love people from New Zealand. They're so friendly. It's like countryside Canadians. City Canadians, not so friendly. Countryside's where it's at. It's looking great. Yeah, it's certainly colorful. You know, it's not bad. I usually tend to do darker color schemes, so this is really going outside of my territory here. But I am liking how the color transitions around the eyes are looking. That's looking very cool to me. And adding the making the beak a dark color, adding the horns, things are starting to balance out a little bit how um, colorful they are. My chat is wild. I live close to. Oh, you live close to Earthesia as well. That's awesome. One of my friends is from New Zealand. I had a coworker from New Zealand. He was the one that said to me that Australians are more American and New Zealanders are more Canadian. Oh, I want to visit this chat. Haha. That's awesome, Spiky Kina. I enjoy Earthesia's stream. Yeah, Lemons. I found Earthesia's streams because she watches your streams. So then I went and hopped around. And I quite enjoy her content. My best friend happens to be from New Zealand too. I was really upset she didn't tell me that her streams until a month ago. She's a great streamer. I'm enjoying this one too. Just looked at the stats. 8% of my chat stream was New Zealand. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, no, she's very engaging in the chat. She's, I don't know if Spiky Kina also watches your streams or not as well. All right. That's right. I think it was. Who was it? Nyan is from Europe, I believe. The rest is USA and Canada. How many other Canadian viewers do you usually have there, Lemons? We're a large country, but we don't have a lot of population. Yeah, Dyslexic Lemons streams as Cosmic Dice. And for anyone who likes D&D, gonna give a shout out here to Creature Club Podcast, which Mikey, who's a little quiet and is probably gonna start chatting up now that I'm mentioning him, is 1/3 of. They do a really enjoyable podcast about Dungeons and Dragons monsters, going through the monster manual. I just started to watch and drop into Twitch streams recently. Yeah, Mia, I find that it's a nice way to socialize. That's honestly why I started doing this. Is just to try and reconnect a little bit of the socializing in my life. because I have been locked up in my apartment for too long, not getting to see other people. So, hosting a stream while I'm painting, talking with people, it feels a lot like having company in my house again. Likewise, going into other people's chats, it's just Twitch seems very social, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely enjoying the heck out of it. You do this every team, Chris. Well, I started talking about, Cosmic or Lemon's stream, and I was like, well, Mikey's got a stream here too, so I should give Mikey a shout out. As soon as I was thinking of the thought, I'm like, oh, it's happening. Should I not? No, I'm going to. I'm always going to give you a shout out, Mikey. You're my favorite podcast, so. And that's Creature Club Podcast. The miniature I was painting was for a Canadian who frequents the stream. There's at least 2 other Canadians that follow us. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear that. I always get excited when I find other Canadians online, especially ones that play D&D. Yeah, now that there's less green on this, I'm liking this miniature more and more as I go through it. It's actually starting to look a little more convincing. I'm going to have to obviously add shadows and stuff to it, but it's looking better. Not quite ready to say good yet, but it's looking better. It's going to look a lot better once I do the eyes. And thank you for everyone who's hanging out here with me and tolerating my nasally congested voice right now. It's nice to have some company. Honestly, I would be spending all this time painting miniatures anyways, so why not talk with people while I do it, right? Oh, I don't have Ganon with me today. Usually my cat is with me when I'm streaming. He must be lying down in the bed. Lovely weather we're having today. Adding a darker green was a good choice. Yes, yes. And I think I'm going to keep darkening it because it's so much easier to just highlight it if I use darker bases. But yeah, I'm much happier with this, and I'm probably going to just keep darkening all those transitions. But I'm going to keep this yellow here as is for the most part at the moment, just given that I like having those stripes a lot. So I bought a mini for my next stream, but accidentally stayed up all night painting it off stream. That's too funny. There's a fellow in Vancouver. His Etsy shop is Mishra's Print Factory. I ordered some resin minis from him, so I'm gonna. We were going to. I was considering priming them today, but things came up. Wasn't able to get them on time, so that's okay. But I'm hoping soon to paint my first resin 3D printed mini. It's going to be a bear from, or bear folk from Archvillain Games. I like the yellow too. Yeah, it works out nicely when animals have those kind of stripes on them. So I'm going to step away here just to pour myself a glass of water and enjoy breathing while I stand up. So I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Oh man, it is too bright. That is too bright. I need to dial this back a lot. That's okay. I'll be back. All right. I am back. I say we blow up the chat while he's gone. Chris, you can't ban us now. Mikey, I wouldn't know how to ban you guys in the first place. All good. Spiky Kina, if you gotta go, you gotta go. It's all good. I'm very happy that you are a returning visitor to my stream. I'm at a point where I'm seeing people who are regulars, which is really enjoyable. I feel like I'm lucky because I'm getting to meet some really cool people by streaming that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So, oh, I can breathe through my nose right now. It's so good. I need to enjoy it while it lasts. Yeah, no. All I did was grabbing a glass of water. I just wanted to hydrate. Unlike Kay, I don't have bit redemption, so you guys can't drown me. Yeah, there you go. Mia, are you painting today? Are you doing some arts? Yeah, it was too quick. Sorry you guys couldn't flood my chat. There's always next time. Always next time. Let's see here. Try to make this a bit more to the color that I'm actually seeing here for you guys. There we go. Oh, nose is starting to flood up again. That's all good. I got to breathe through my nose for a little bit. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z so much. So there is this slice of life anime that is just absolute nonsense. Nothing productive happens. It is absolutely a show just for chuckling and just mindless binge watching. It's called Lucky Star. And at the end of every episode, for the first 10 episodes, their credit scene is a karaoke. And in one of the episodes, one of the characters does karaoke of the Japanese intro for Dragon Ball Z, Head Chala. And it is so great because she butchers the song so badly. There's you can watch the full version on YouTube, but she's like, Head Chala! It's, oh my god, it's so too funny. I hope I didn't peak anyone's audio when I did that, but will Chris take longer to get water? Will Will Chris take longer to get water? Will the chat have faster typing skills? Find out next time. Oh god, too funny. I love the people who join my chats. I love you all. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Speaking of anime, Mia, have you gotten to catch up with other Studio Ghibli shows on Netflix? No, not too much. That's okay. Honestly, they have some of the really good ones, but there's some that are on there that I hadn't watched before. I tried watching and I was not thoroughly impressed. Oh, Princess Mononoke is my all-time favorite. I absolutely agree on there. Yeah, if you haven't already seen Princess Mononoke, Mia, that one's really good. I will say it's not like any other Studio Ghibli film. it is hands down like probably their only film that has violence. Um, but it's really good. Some people aren't a big fan because there's no clear antagonist, but that's kind of the point of the film. Is that it's a bunch of people with conflicting interests. All of them have good reasons for what they do, but the conflict of their interests is what uh, pushes the film forward. You did watch Arietti. Which one was Arietti? Spirited Away. Yep, Spirited Away is another favorite. That is a movie that as an adult, I watched later on, and I enjoyed it more than I watched it when I was a teenager. Um, Spirited Away is a beautiful film. You want to be on all sides, yeah. With Princess Mononoke, I won't spoil anything, but yeah, it's you end up really feeling for most of the characters. Uh, oh, Arietti was the borrowers. Yeah, I saw that on there. I haven't watched it yet. Was it good? Princess Kaguya. Yeah, I started watching Princess Kaguya. That's a funny one. That's a cute one. If that's the one that I'm thinking of course. That's the one where it's the daughter of a bunch of bandits, right? Or she's the daughter of a bandit lord. I think that one's from Miyazaki's son, if I recall correctly. I need to look that one up on. Oh, she was found in bamboo. Okay. Oh, that's the an old Japanese folk tale. Yeah, that's a really old legend. Yeah, she's found in a bamboo stalk by an old couple, and that's about really all I know about it, to be honest. All right, so looking good, loving it. Got to get darker. So we're gonna take more of my green black ink, and I think I'm actually going to add a pinch of black ink to it. I'm really going to try and darken this up. Really did like Princess Mononoke and Nausicaa. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind is a really good one. I think that one is from the staff of Ghibli, but is actually before they were Studio Ghibli, if I recall correctly. Let's see. Oh, that is way too dark. They're really symbolic and beautiful. Yeah, older Ghibli movies are like that. The newer ones that were like, I want to say after Ponyo, not so much. Ponyo was. I need to rewatch Ponyo. I didn't care for it as a kid, but it's probably better than I know. So, or that I remember. All right. Alrighty. What's your dino's name? I don't have a name for this dino. I should have a name for it. You're right. They call it... Reaper calls it the Thundering Behemoth. But that's boring. I would probably give it a cheesy name like Stompy. Let's see. What could I go with? What could I go with? Huh. You know, I don't know. What would you guys name? What are some suggestions? I'll let you guys name the dinosaur. Pratisha got me into The Cat Returns and the Earthsea Studio Ghibli movies as well. I don't terribly care for The Cat Returns myself. I probably need to rewatch it. I only watched it the one time. I have full disclosure. So if I rewatch it, it's probably better than I remember. What was it? There was The Cat Returns. They made that movie because they wanted to give a story to the cat statue in one of their other movies. And it was from like a thrift store. The owner said that there's another cat that goes with it, and they ended up making a film about that. But I can't remember what the name of that was. Was it Song from the Heart or Stories from the Heart? I feel like Heart was part of the name of that movie. It looks like an Eric. We'll have to see on that. Oh, I found more battle injuries on him. Alright, I need to really fix up those battle injuries. So there's one right there, and there's another one on the other side too. It's a dinosaur that's gotten into fights. Where did they find it? Oh, lemons, the pun. I like that. I like that. The carnivore. That's a good one. That one made me cringe a little bit, but I respect it. The dinosaur clown. Yeah, yeah. No, I respect some good dad jokes. You are a dad, after all, so that's... You get a free pass. No, I'm kidding. One of my favorite dad jokes is two fish are swimming, and they bump into a concrete wall. One fish looks at the other and says, "Damn!" I have a cicada tattoo named George, so I'm blessed. Gotta enjoy your days. Yeah, I like that one a lot. What else? There's a few. Oh man, what was that one? Yeah, I have to think of a couple dad jokes. Don't want to overdo it though. All right, I've got a couple. But there's everyone. Surely everyone knows those ones, so I can't go with those ones. Does anyone know any good dinosaur dad jokes? Kind of like the one that Lemons told there. I feel like now is the time for dinosaur dad jokes. What do you call a dino with a big vocabulary? A thesaurus. That is wonderful. Thank you. That's all I got. That's okay. I think that's more than enough. That's wonderful. Let's see here. Oh, uh, oh wait, no, never mind. I was about to be like, oh, you should watch Kiki's Delivery Service, but that was literally the movie that I totally, absolutely, legally gave to you. Yes, and that's a story that I'm sticking with. There's actually a song track in here that has a line from Kiki's Delivery Service. I could relate. Yeah, and it was so good. One of my faves, definitely. Yes, yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful movie. It's really just about like self discovery and making it on your own, making friends along the way. It's a beautiful one. Some people really like Howl's Moving Castle. That's a really good one. Um, Not my favorite personal, but it is a good, enjoyable movie. Uh, Castle in the Sky is a really nice one. I enjoy Castle in the Sky. It's got some good mystery and adventure to it. What else? What else? What else? What else? I have not personally watched it, but everyone I've ever met recommends Grave of the Fireflies, um, and apparently also gives it with the forewarning that it will make everyone who watches it cry. Personally, I am okay with shows that will make me sad. Oh, that is really heartbreaking. Yeah, yeah. Mia Mercury does digital art, and she is quite good at it. You can find her on Twitter, and you can find a lot of her stuff. I don't know if you have an Instagram or not. All right. I have to go to the washroom. I will be right back. Probably going to be wrapping things up pretty soon, but I'm going to see what else I can do. Maybe I can fill in the eyes a little bit. Let's see here. Oh no, did I? Oh, there we go. What would I call that? Is that like a yellow eye? That looks. Yeah, that kind of looks yellow. sure that the audio is still connected. Ah, that's what I thought would happen. Here, one sec, guys. I'm just going to give you the music back. There you go. Alright, so for the eyes, we're going to take out this here. Going to use some gold yellow. And just take a look here. Cool. Gonna probably have to do a lot of coats to get the eyes the right color. That's all right. So let that dry up a little bit. Have to do more coats on the horns. It's a good looking dino. Well, hopefully, if I can get it to look good, that's a bonus. That's a bonus for sure. Still haven't named him. We shall name him. Yeah, I don't know how I quite feel about Eric as a name. Henry. Maybe. He is a dinosaur. Henry feels like a pretty old name. Actually, no, I don't know about Henry. If Henry is my father-in-law's name. What else? What next? Bill. Archibald McStompy. Yes. Archibald is fantastic. Yes, I am. This will now be Archibald. And actually, I believe Archibald is the name of one of... Oh, why am I forgetting his name right now? It's one of my favorite members of Wizards of the Coast right now. He used to work at Kobold Press. He has a hairless sphinx that he named Archibald. Let's see. which is the perfect name for a hairless sphinx. Let's see here. You know, now that I think about it, Mia, I think you're the only fellow Canadian that attends the stream that, besides like my friend who joins from across the street. Always have, yeah. It's always fun to meet other Canadians online. I agree. I agree. All right. Let's do a little bit more yellow eye there. You guys get some extreme close-ups here. So close that it goes out of focus. My apologies for that. I'm almost Canadian. I'm in Idaho. Does that count? I don't know. What makes Idaho Canadian? So when I think of like Canadian-esque states, very first one I think of is Minnesota. Oh. Do you like hockey? Do you like poutine? These are the real questions. Never been to Canada. I used to play hockey. All right. Do you know what a poutine is? Or a toque? I gotta really emphasize that Canadian accent. We don't. I don't normally call it a toque. It's a toque, or a poutine. Fool of a toque. Throw yourself in time to rid us of your stupidity. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused. You've lost me. Yes, a toque is what you would call a ski hat. If that wasn't already known. Not sure what those are. It's what Gombiff says in Lord of the Rings. A fool of a toque? Really? I did not know that. Well, thank you for filling me in there, Mikey. To Paragon Took. Okay. Oh, that's Pippin's real name. I see. I am not worthy. I have not read the books. The book that I read was The Hobbit. I did not go through the Lord of the Rings, yet alone the Similarian. But I do have a copy of all of them. Alright, so I've done that. Now let's take some black here. Just the tiniest of daubs. I'm gonna go here. And I hope I don't screw it up. How is that? Looks like this side's looking down and that one's looking a bit more forward. How about now? Oh. There we go, that's a little bit better. So I might be done using the inks, and from here I might start moving on to doing some dry brushing as well as some more specific details on these giant larger scales. But overall, I think I'm decently happy with how some of this has turned out. And yeah, the inks certainly make it a faster process, but I think I definitely should have started off with the darker inks first. Let's see here. If I go in and I reach up here, roar! Yeah, exactly, Mikey. We're gonna just go in here. I'm gonna use some contrast medium here to thin and refresh the ink. Oof, that is... I need a bit more than that. That is very... blah. There we go. Yeah, I have a huge T-Rex, and I wanted to, before I jump on the T-Rex, I wanted to do this guy here. Let's do one more coat of this. Alrighty. There we go. Just keep darkening it. I guess I should also explain too, or just to give a heads up for my non-Canadian friends. Toque is not spelt how you might think it is. It's T-O-U-Q... Or no, it's T-O-Q-U-E. If I am not mistaken, unless it is T-O-U-Q-O-U. But it is spelt oddly. But I assure you, that is how you spell toque. Because Canada doesn't want to be simple. It's no other reason. The Quebec probably came up with the name. It's a very French spelling. Or the Quebecois, so I should say. Toque. That's just trying to be complicated. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think it's a difficult way of spelling things. But that's what we call them. All right, there we go. I think he's dark enough now. I'm not terribly upset with it. I think that I need to figure out where I want to go with that pink color. But it's certainly an interesting model with this color scheme. All right. Well, with that being said, I will see you guys all later. I am online next on Saturday, but it was wonderful to have you guys, and you know, stay safe and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye for now.